Okay, you can start now.
Hello everyone. Today we are gonna present our presentation about the novel Hard Time as a social novel. Hard Times by Charles Dickens is set in the Victorian age, predominantly attacking on the existing social problem, education system, and caste system, economic system, and many more. Dickens described a city regulated by the utilitarian rules and influence life at every stage in family and workplace, from infancy to adulthood. Hard Time, more than other of his novels, excited the condition of England. It is social problems. We should mention that during the Victorian age, there was an industrial revolution. So, who used to work in farms in the countryside moved to the cities to work in factories. This movement made the cities overcrowded. So the majority of people didn't find jobs. Caste system in the Victorian age. In the Victorian age, life, especially in London, it depended on whether you were rich or poor. In the or poor. In his novel, Charles Dickens used his special character to describe the caste system that had been shaped by industrial England. It presented by the character Stephen Blackpool. Stephen Blackpool represented the most lower class or the hands. Charles Dickens clearly expressed his hatred toward the divorce law, which remained a privilege of the rich people. So Stephen Blackpool was a hard-working man, worked at Mr. Banterbury factories. His wife was an alcoholic, so he wanted to divorce her, but he couldn't because of his poor financial condition. Was not able, and he was not able to hand the costly fee of divorce law, and because divorce was was possible in England only by an act of parliament before 1857. The case needed to brought before the parliament, which involved huge expenses and was therefore reserved only for the wealthy.
One of the social problems that Dickens represented in the novel Hard Time is the problems and suffering of the worker. So the operation of the poor working class by the rich industrialist is at the heart of the novel's outrage. Hard-working workers are trained into mere hands without any emotion, which shows that they are only counting terms of work, production, and man factors, that they are not treated as human. So the novel is a fundamental in critic against the economic inequality of an age where the rich are extremely rich and the poor are poor. So also Dickens gives us a general idea about the lives of farmers and how the life of a city influence them. For example, children of peasants enrolled in schools or educational institutes and educated on facts and nothing else. So they believe that their lives were just like a machine of factors. Cooktown is the fictional city in which Dickens described not only the poor people and their suffering, misery, and operations, but also how a prosperous individual lived at exploiting and limiting freedom and independence of the lower social class. In fact, Hard Times is a realistic novel that depicts how the industrialization in England drastically changed the lives of people. So the poor people work 24 hours as a machine without getting their independence and rights, and they don't have enough time to care for their children. And this, of course, would leave a very negative impact of their lives. So we can say that a lot of families suffer physiological problems because of work pressure at factories. On the other hand, the winners of these mills and manufacturers, life wealthy and peaceful, depends on violating the rights of the other. So the novel also discusses the disadvantage of smoke, which extend all over the cities and would eventually pollute and deform nature.
Hard time is a direct indictment on utilitarianism. Dickens strongly criticized the utilitarian system of education and the different type of school. He described teacher and relationship with the owner of manufacture and how they always try to confirm negatively that the system which have been applied by the capitalism is the only method that could increase and improve the lives of people of England nation, in particular, utilizing in education system refer to teach and cultivate student the imagination or any imaginated subject that deals with fancy and supernatural elements that they believe is just fact. They argue that life depends on truth and there is no extends to imagination. Some critics think that imagination would distract and limit advantage of both utilitarians and capitalist system because they believe that it would fill their plans, ambition, arguments, and pretension. Finally, it can be concluded saying that Charles Dickens penned down this novel as protest to fill, for it deals with several tying significant social issues of time. And thank you for listening.